want to show you something, and this is going to lead us right into our primer, investigative primer, because I want you churches, no matter how big, how small you are, how much you think you have your stuff in order, and you may have your stuff in order, but understand I want to show you how easy it is for you to check your stuff out. Now notice, excuse me, when he's talked about Anthony Pelt putting Bishop C.C. Pratt and Martin Wright and Arnold Williams on the corporate papers for the Fifth Street Church of God of West Palm Beach, against their knowledge, against their will. Maybe Arnold said he could, but the other two didn't. I want to show you something. Right here it says, under Florida Statute 8171.155, a person may not, this is off the Department of Corporations website where he found that stuff, a person may not knowingly falsify or conceal a material fact, make a false, fictitious, fraudulent statement or representation, or make or use any false document. Anyone violating these conditions is guilty of a third-degree felony and punishable by law. Punishable by law. Do you see that? And we have given you I've shown you example after example. Here it is. Just as recently as April 30th, he has put Bishop Pratt, Arnold Williams, and Martin Wright, who's not even part of the jurisdiction, not a part of that church, as the trustees. Have been doing that for now 7 or 8 years. That's a lie. They are not the trustees. That church never stopped having church. It's not abandoned. They have a pastor. They have officers they elected. But he went online. And I can show you 2024, 2023, 2022, 2021, 2020, 2019, 2018, 2017, where he's done this. Why? Because he was suing them for rights to their property. But you can prevent this from happening. Then last night, or earlier this week on our podcast, we saw here that there was a name change that was done for the North Bay Community Church of God back in 2021. Okay, I'm going to show it here. This is the actual document of a Sunday, and I'm going to show you how to do this real quick before we go. Okay, because you need to check, make sure. This church, the pastor died. It's up in Panama City, Florida. The pastor died probably during that COVID time. And in 2021, here's the information right here. Right? Now, here, let me go back. In 2021, he sold the church. They sold the church building. Okay, their house, they sold the building. Let me show you what the building looks like. I can find that on here. I want to show you. Yeah, that's not it. But I'm going to show you. But this is a beautiful building. Beautiful building. They sold it for $35,500. Well, $35,600 in the end. Okay, $35,600. Okay. Now let me show you the building they sold. I think they could have got more than $35,500, but nonetheless, that's what they did. Here it is. It's coming up. One moment. I'm going to show you this because this ain't right. But he had the right to do it because the church was no longer, and it's just the pastor died. They couldn't get anybody there to go to the church. All right, there's the church. 1706 Flower Avenue in Panama City, Florida. Okay? The same guys that's up there, that was up there preaching, Clinton Rudder was one of them. He signed the paperwork for the sale. Let me show you that real quick. I'm just reviewing so I can show you how to do this. Now, here you go. There it is right there. Make sure you see it. Okay, there you go. There, see that? Now, February 16, 2021, $35,500, Arnold Williams, C.C. Pratt, Clinton Rudder, to the city of Panama City. And then they did another deed or something for $100, May 16, 2021, Arnold Williams, C.C. Pratt, Clinton Rudder, city of Panama City. And here are the actual documents. One moment. So we don't make up stuff over here. We show it to you. Those of you listening on the podcast platform, you can go to my Facebook page, Pastor Robert O'Carmen Second. You can see this. Here it is right here. The warranty deed, February 16, 2021, by Arnold Williams, C.C. Pratt, Clinton Rudder, as trustees, and Anthony T. Pelt, Administrative Bishop of the Florida COG Office, the current duly appointed State Board of Trustees of the church, and they sold it there to the city of Panama City for $35,500. Not for pennies on the dollar. They sold it for pennies. They sold it for pennies. Now, here's what you can do. Now, here's the issue here. Okay, he had the right to sell it. He has the right to sell it if there was nobody that the church was abandoned. Now, here are the questions that we have. Here are the questions that we have concerning this, and I'm going to read these questions, and then I'm going to show you how you can protect yourself from your church from this happening, or if it does happening, because you have some recourse. Because here's the deal, saints. The church was sold in February 16, 2021. All right? We're on that same. We got it? We got it. Now, watch this. Watch this. On August 3rd, 2023, just last year, almost a year ago, Anthony decided, I'm going to go online and I'm going to change the name of the church, that North Bay. 2 years later, changed the name of the church, changed it to the state office, changed the address to the state office in Cocoa, and make it look like they moved to Cocoa. Hold on, just putting this in here. I want you to see it. I want you to see this now. Okay, here we go. We showed this to you in the previous podcast. I'm going to share this now. So let's go back. So I'm going to show you how you have to watch yourself. You got to check. You got to handle your business things. He sold the building, okay, in 2021. Church is dissolved. That's it. And even with the Department of Corporations, if you don't file your annual report, they do what they call administratively dissolve you anyway. So the church has been dissolved now for at least 2 years from when they sold it, okay? 2023, this is what he does. You see this? You see this right here? He did a name change. Okay? Name change amendment. Let me go back now. I'm going to show you here on the other paper. Here is the form, the actual form. And it didn't dawn on me because what it did here, North Bay Community Church of God Incorporated. There's the document number. You can put that document number on Sunbiz and look it up. That's the account that is still. Hold on, let me mute your mic. Then let's go further. Now, did the name change amendment right there? Let's go back now. Let's go back over here. All right, wait one moment. Let me go to the actual document. Let me show you something here. One moment. Here we go. Share this tab instead. There we go. Send it to the accountant. Notice here what it says here. Articles of Amendment, Articles of Incorporation. North Bay Community Church of God, Inc. If amending name into the new name of the corporation. So they changed the name of the church to Church of God Executive Office, Cocoa, Florida, Incorporated. Then it says the new principal address. We're going to show you that in a second, which is the state office, 4015 North US Highway 1, Cocoa, Florida. Then it says on here, he didn't take off or add or change any officers, no officers, nothing. Nothing. If amending or adding articles, nothing. See, NA, not applicable. Blank. Then here it is right here. The date of each amendment adoption is August 3rd, 2023. And here, check one, adoption of amendments. Well, there weren't any amendments, but the amendments were adopted by the members and the number of votes cast for the members were sufficient for approval. Who? There's nobody's name on it. There's literally nobody's name on it. Nobody's name. He just cold cautious made it up. And there it is, August 3rd, Anthony T. Pelt, president. And when you go to this and look it up, you will find, here it is right here. Notice what he did. And we caught this last night on the podcast. 2023, Florida not-for-profit, which means you can't have just one person on not-for-profit. Corporation, what does that say right there? Reinstatement. So the church had dissolved. The church dissolved. He sold the building for $35,600. Where'd the money go? But then for some reason, 2 years later, he changed it. and reinstated the church as if the church now is in existence. Principal place of business, 4015 North US Highway 1, Cocoa, Florida. That's where the state office was. Current mailing address, 4015 North US Highway 1. Really? 411 miles from the church. Name of a registered agent, Anthony T. Pelt. Signature, and the only officer on there, Anthony T. Pelt. Now, how can you stop this? Doc, you have something? You have something? Let me put me. Doc, you have something to say?
Yeah, take me back to the line where the members, where he's saying that the members.
Second. We got two areas here. Okay, let me go back. Yes, let me go back to the bottom. One second.
Okay.
All right.
Right.
That's one. That part there. Amending.
On down a little further.
All right. There it is.
Okay, yeah, there it is. Okay, the point that I'm trying to make is that you didn't say, I know you know it, we've talked about it. You see, if there's somebody listening, the box is checked. He purposely lied. The amendments were adopted by the members, and the number of votes cast for the amendment or amendments were sufficient for approval for name change, whatever this is saying. The box is checked. So he willfully is a liar. Let's go on down a little further, to that other box. Okay, stop right there. See, it gives you the opportunity to tell the truth, This box that is not checked, it says there are no members entitled to vote on the amendment. The amendment was adopted by the board of directors. See,
the board of directors. Right.
See, so that's the point that I'm just trying to re-emphasize, that these people that will claim after looking at this, Pastor Carpenter, that you lied on Pelt, and that why we on here and why are you doing this? Like I told some people this afternoon, I'm sick of the COG jurisdiction before the white man lying. They think us black people, colored people, Negro, whatever you're calling yourself, because many of you want to be white. But the white man say you're nothing but a bunch of liars. I know. I stayed in the dorm with them. Had a white roommate. Please. You people are something else. These people laugh because they hear all kind of stories. And they know that some are supposed to be Christians, are supposed to be then sanctified, and supposed to be Holy Ghost filled, fire baptized, speaking in tongues, and will get right off of this podcast and lie and get on the line and say, yeah, that Dr. Ellis, I don't know what's his problem. I don't know why he's on the line on Pelt. I'm not lying on Pelt. Pastor Carpenter is not lying on Pelt. These are the documents. Go look at them for yourself. They write online. And this man, Anthony Pelt, should not be our overseer. They should not be appointing him back. They should be getting 1,000 calls calling into the General Assembly saying, don't send Pelt back here. or a letter should be being drafted by the state council. But no, Clinton Ruddock up there acting like Pelt is a man of God doing right. That's why you can't vote for these men. You got men on the council don't even care. Timothy McGahee said that he is going to remain loyal to the overseer. What kind of talk is that? I'm not loyal to nobody but God. That's who my loyalty and allegiance to. Because when man lets you down, when man lie, cheat, be a hypocrite, or whatever, I'm not following that. I'm following him as they follow Christ. When they stop following Christ, I'm finished. I'm through. That's even with me. If when I sin, I got to repent and go back to the cross on bending knees, saying, God, forgive me, wash me, cleanse me, do it over again, God. Help me, God. Help me, God. And then do my work over. This man lie on all these papers, all these documents, fraudulent, or I don't know whether forgery. They must be got a stamp or somewhere that they just go around and stamping people's names on stuff. It's a lie. It's still a lie. It's still a lie. You can have it back. I just want to make our listeners see that this man is a liar and mean to lie and mean to cheat.
Here's the issue. Let me show you how you can protect your church or your organization. Because I've seen this happen where an organization or church was going along and unbeknownst to them, somebody went on Sunbiz, which is this in Florida, changed the offices of the corporation. They had no idea. And they went into business for themselves. And the church didn't find out until it was too late. I had one person one time, they said it was a mistake, but not sure about that. They put the CFO on Sunbiz as the CEO. But come to find out, they were doing some illegal stuff. So had it not been caught, the CFO would have been responsible because on paper it said the CFO was actually the CEO. To me, it was just a typo. Really? But it was on there for 9 months. So how much business did they do like that? So here's how you can protect yourself. For those of you in Florida, and this can apply to any state in the union, what you want to do is you want to go to your department, and I'm going to do this for Florida. You're going to go to your department, Florida Department of State. Okay, let me take this off here. I'm helping you. This is the primer to help you. You go there. The URL is dos.fl.gov. Okay. Now, if you want to go further than that, you can just go to Sunbiz. This is all from Florida, but you can find it in your particular state, sunbiz.org. All right? That's where you go right there. Then you go to search records. Click that. Now, you have various different search filters that you can use. For instance, you can search for the name of the organization. This is for corporations, LLCs, and limited partnerships and trademarks. All right, you can go there. You can search by the name of the organization. And sometimes what people do, let me give you another one. Sometimes they'll change the name of the organization slightly. And literally, if it's just a slight change, it can actually work. And you could have two. For instance, if my name of my church was New Birth Missionary Baptist Church, but you went online and then you changed it to New Birth Missionary Baptist Church of Tampa, that would qualify as a separate entity. But as far as if somebody wrote a check or something to New Birth, they could take that money and put it right over there, and you wouldn't be none the wiser. So you have to be careful with the name of the organization. What you do though is if you suspect something like that's going on and you can't find it by the name, go by the officer or registered agent. Remember on this form here, Anthony Pelt was the one who did it, but he was the registered agent. Let me show you on this one here. Let's go back here and show you. That means that's the person is authorized to make this change. As it says there, Anthony T. Powell says the above named entity submits the statement for the purpose of changing its registered office or registered agent both in the state of Florida. Okay, that's the person who is able to do that, has the right to do that. Let's go back over here now. Now, so you go by that. So let's just say, for instance, Fifth Street Church of God, West Palm Beach. Okay, we know now that. Well, you know what? Let's do one. Let's just find one randomly. This is all random. We're gonna do this in real time. I hope I don't regret doing this. Let's go to Cathedral Church of God in Deerfield. How about that? 365. All right, Dixie Highway. So let's put in the name. If the name hasn't changed, Cathedral Church of God. You see me typing that, make sure that show you see all that. Okay, there you go. All right, now we're going to do search. Let's see what we come up with. This is all in real time. Okay, the Cathedral Church of God, Inc. Okay, so you find your organization, you click there. Then you scroll down, detail, but everything's on here. Anything that's been done online or otherwise is on here, is going to be on here. Florida not-for-profit organization, Cathedral Church of God, Inc. Got the document number, the EIN. This was filed way back in 96. That's what, way back then. Okay, Bishop Miller was the pastor. Okay, so now, time you see something change, the last thing that was done, there was a name change amendment. So now Deerfield hasn't changed much on here since 91. Okay, principal address, 365 South Dixie Highway, Deerfield. That's where the church is. They're still there right now. Their mailing address, they have a P.O. box. All right, the registered agent, somebody named Chanel Keat. Probably maybe an accountant or somebody that lives your office near the church, okay? Then you have the officers. You have a trustee, Victor Lewistal, Pompano, Henrietta Perigo. Oh, Sister Perigo. Daryl Huntley. That's your isn't that your brother-in-law?
Oh.
That's your brother-in-law? That's your brother-in-law?
Yes.
Okay. Bishop Ellis know everybody. Okay. Daryl Huntley, trustee. You have Billy E. Johnny, the president, the That's the pastor. Okay. Chanel Keith, I guess the treasurer. Bobby Cooper, trustee. Gwendolyn Major, trustee. And then you see all the different annual reports each year, and you go on and you see the church has been around a long time, so on and so forth. That's how you go and check yourself. Now, if you're a member of Fifth Street Church of God, you might go on there and say, oh, let me put my name in. So I'm going to do it in real time here. That's why you need to check this. Hear me, saints. Check it. Even if you don't have a church, but if you have you want to check this because people can arbitrarily go online and they'll be able to take out a mortgage, take out loans and everything in your organization's name, and you won't have a clue of nothing. Let's go to, so we put it Fifth Street Church of God, okay, which has been active, never stopped for over 100 years. All right, let's scroll on down here. Fifth Street Church of God, there we go. Florida non-for-profit, boom, boom, boom. Look at this. Last event filed March 24, 2024. Principal address, 629 Fifth Street. That is where the church is. Mailing address, the P.O. Box. But look here, registered agent, Weaver and Associates in Altamont Springs. What? That's because that's the organization or the accounting firm or whatever that helped use to make this change. Okay, that's Al Weaver's brother. Look at that, trustees. Now they got, look at that. Trustee, but here, look at this. Trustees Tommy Williams. Now this one, watch this, it's mixed up because look at this. Tommy Williams, Hampton Brown, Steve Moody. Okay, but when you look at the annual report that was just filed April 30th, 2024, look what it said there. It still has C.C. Pratt, Arthur Williams, and L. Martin Wright. So you see how confusing it is? Three of the officers that were really from the church on there, but he changed it and superseded them and put people on there that's not on there. Okay, so this is how you check to see. We're going to do one more in real time. Let's do a Livingston Street Church of God. Let's do that one. I guess this is going to be the corporate name. We'll find out in a second. Livingston Street Church of God Corporation, Livingston Street Church of God Inc. Okay, look like we got two. Let's look at this one here. All right. Livingston Street Church of God Corp. Principal address, 910 West Livingston Street. They got a mail P.O. box. Shirley Vance is the registered agent. She's the one, I guess, the secretary. Victor Butler, trustee. Shirley Vance, treasurer. Gary Bellinger Gary. Donald Miller, officers. Demetrius Preston, the pastor. Michael Reddick, trustee. Jackie Robinson, officer. And there you see the annual reports, so on and so forth, going way back when, to God knows when. That's what it's supposed to look like. If you see that your organization, your church, officers have been changed without your knowledge, against your will, even whether it was Trump, Pelt, Tim Hill, or your grandchild playing. If you see that, there is a course of action you can take. Because remember what we said, knowingly falsify or conceal a material fact, make a false, fictitious, fraudulent statement or representation, or make or use any false document. Anyone that violates these conditions is guilty of a third-degree felony and punishable by law. Florida Statute 817.155. Ladies and gentlemen, it grieves my heart, and Dr. Ezra can tell you this when we talk offline, the bishop has committed the crime. And more than once. You've seen it here. Why would you take North Bay Church of God, reinstate it 2 years after you sold the building and this church is defunct, move it 411 miles to the state office, which you're not even at anymore? Why would you do that? So the question that we have, let's go back to North Bay. Let's go back to North Bay. This church right here. Here's the question that we have. Maybe the state council will see this and maybe they will, I doubt it, but maybe they'll say something. Here's the question. Who is the pastor? If the church is reinstated, who is the pastor? Where are the members? No, not if the church is reinstated according to him. And they're having church at the state office, which is not owned by the state church anymore. Who are the members? Why was the church sold? Why was the church relocated 411 miles away? Why wasn't the North Bay Church of God, Community Church of God, dissolved? Did North Bay have a bank account with money in it? Where'd that money go? Where'd the money go for the sale? Why was North Bay given a name change and given an address to the COCO Executive Office in Cocoa, Florida? Probably somebody. And then that was in August 2023, 2 years after it was closed and sold. But then he put the state office up for sale in October, sold it January 31st, but he did not change. This church will still have a church there. What is Anthony Pelt doing and why is he doing it? And we're raising this because it needs to be discussed because we're just finding this out. But also, he was just tentatively elected to the Executive Council of 18. You all that are up there in Indianapolis and those of you on the line here and whoever, you all need to be calling, emailing, texting, whatever you can, anybody that's up there. Because this was already, not even this, before this, it was already reported to the Office of Consumer Services and the Florida Attorney General. This has been added to it now that we found this out. Okay? So there is an investigation going on. Now, of course, you know, they move like snails, slow as molasses. But and if you ask them if they're doing anything, they're not going to tell you. But understand, the information has been submitted. Laws have been broken. And it looks like there's a pattern here. I can't make any accusations. All I can go on is what we see, what we come across here online, which you can do yourself, and then ask the questions. And if you don't get an answer, then govern yourself accordingly. Notice this, dear hearts. Notice this. And I'm about to close here. Notice this. This is serious because if this breaks, one day you turn on the news and you see breaking news, Florida Bishop, blah, 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 blah. There's going to be a lot of accomplices. Gonna be a lot of people jumping ship and singing like a canary. But this ought not to be. This is unseemly conduct for men of God in the church. Let me put you down. Go ahead. Now, hold on. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Everybody, am I on? Am I on?
Go ahead.
Am I on?
Go ahead.
Okay. Yes, I'm going to call your name. All the state council members, I'm going to call your name to the officers. When it break, I'm going to call your name. Sue me because I'm trying to get to Cleveland, Tennessee, because they are the ones that appointed this man. And then the state council that we have in Florida is aiding and abetting, which we use the word they're complicit because they're not trying to stop. They're not writing letters saying we don't have a secretary treasurer. This state haven't had a secretary treasurer, I believe, since Pelt got in office. He give a name of somebody, I guess, right now, but they don't have a secretary. They really never have. Tom Chenault used to sign 100 checks at a time when he come over. They made C.C. Pratt, 80 years old, calling him the secretary treasurer, when all he did was come there and sign 150 checks. You know, when Miller was the, what I believe that's all he did was sign checks and turn them over to whoever. That's not right. They're supposed to be the guardians of God's people money. And any visitor that come in your church, know this, saints, any visitor that comes into your church and you take their money in an offering, and if they have put it in a check and can prove it that you took that money, then they can get you. They can get you. And you got to let them know where you put that money, what you did with that money. That's why many churches try to get out of it by saying, we want you to know that we may use this money at our will, at our discretion. Well, that's why they try to put that in there. But when it comes to fraud and forgery, they ain't studying that because they know that it's a game. You know, it's a game. They going after the people. So then no, anybody can ask about the record. Well, you ain't no member, so we can't tell you about what you have given to. That's a lie, saints. Don't believe that lie. If I came to your church and I put $100 in the offering plate, and you tell me we raising this money to put a roof, and then 5 years no roof, and I ask you, well, what you did with my $100? You say, well, Ellis, we gave it to the pastor for appreciation. We didn't have enough for his appreciation, so we took that money and gave it. If I is mad enough and write a letter to somebody going to investigate that, because you took an offering or a donation from a person and did not do what you said you was going to do. You should have sent me back the $100 or anybody else. That's it, Pastor. I'm just
right. You got to understand here. Look at this RICO law, Florida's Racketeering Influence Corrupt Organizations Act. Most states have it now. You know, you've heard about it a lot with Trump in Georgia and New York, and here in Florida. Here for Florida's Racketeering Law Act, found in sections 89501 through 89506 of the Florida statutes, a state law that allows prosecutors to charge individuals and organizations with racketeering activity. This law prohibits a wide range of criminal offenses, including illegal gambling, prostitution, loan sharking, arson, tax evasion, and fraud. RICO also makes it illegal to invest income from racketeering activities in any enterprise that affects interstate or foreign commerce. Additionally, anyone who receives proceeds from racketeering activity and unlawful debt cannot use them or invest them in real property or an enterprise. To prove a case of civil RICO in Florida, the plaintiff must show that the defendants engaged in at least 2 acts of racketeering activity. The state prosecutors also prove beyond a reasonable doubt that at least 2 crimes occurred and that those crimes had similar intents, results, accomplices, victims, and methods of commission. The dollar bill said in the Players Club, somebody gonna be in trouble. All worried about money. You cannot do that. The Bible says all things must be done decently and in order. And if you're finding out, if you're a member of the Church of God, and you're finding out stuff on the COG Equity Podcast, and not from your leader, and not from your church structure organization, that's not a good sign. Again, let's review. If you find yourself in a situation where you're somebody is going online and they have changed something on your corporation papers, whatever the state, because you'll be liable, because that's all you need right there. You need to go to the Office of Consumer Services. Office of Consumer Services. Let me take it in. Office of Consumer Affairs. 1 second. Let's Massachusetts. 1 second here. We're going to give it Florida. And you can report it there. Okay, yeah, we're right. Florida Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services. You go there, go to the Division of Consumer Services, and then you can let them know, hey, this is my organization, and someone has come in and filed and changed stuff against your will, and it's a lie. And what you trying to say something about?
Yes. I was just going to say is that the state, the Church of God, has rules and regulations on how property that belongs to the state should be handled. And so the only properties that the state should be dealing with is a state office, a state campground, state parsonage, a state convention hall, something like that, that is state. But local churches, the overseer have no rights to commandeer a local church. Only if that church is like they say, North Bay. The pastor died and no members. That's what I was told. That's what I heard, that the pastor had died and there was no members. Well, he had a right to sell it, but that should have went through the council. And if it involved a whole lot of money, then it should have went through the ministers' meeting. A ministers' meeting should have been held. See, that's why you got a state council to handle the business for the state. But they don't have a right to sell state property without the ministers. I believe I could be wrong on that call, but I know that before a major something goes on in the state ministers have to approve. The state ministers have to approve, and I selling property and don't know where the money. We don't know where the money went from the sale of the state parsonage and now the state office. Don't know where that money went. And you all still jumping and shouting and acting like you don't know. And anybody get up. Like that lady, like that evangelist got up at the prayer and praise. I got some phone calls from that because thank God some of the ministers wasn't happy with that. They knew that was out of order. Saints, when you get up, when overseer calls somebody, get up and push something to the people that has nothing to do with their business, that's illegal. That's wrong. Well, maybe I shouldn't say illegal. That's not the word. That's just not good character. It's just not good because that person.
Protocol, not to get deformed.
Yeah, because you just don't know what the overseer is going to do with that money. Now you don't know what they're going to do with that money that they sold, whatever they got for the state office. I don't know where the money. Can't nobody tell me. Can't nobody make mention what they did, and I helped pay for that. I helped pay for that because Pratt bought that just as I was moving down here in 1979. He came in 78, August of 78. I moved down here in June of 1979. So then that wasn't even a year. So I came, while while he was going to pay for that, which he did. I'm through.
Trying to find the. There it is. There it is. I'm trying to find here. Here it is. I'm gonna show you again. We're not making up stuff. Here it is. Here it is. Wynn Plaza LLC. What is that? 4015 North Highway 1, Cocoa, Florida. 329. That's the state office right there. All right. Well, it's the former state office. Owned by Wynn Plaza LLC, a Korean company business. Okay. Let's go down. There it is. The market value is $271,000. Here it is right here. It was sold on January 31st. See that? $405,000. Okay? Got it? $405,000. If that's the case, there it is right here. Here it is. I'm gonna show it to you. I'm gonna show it to you. There it is, right there, y'all. See that? Straight up warranty deed, $405,000 sale price. There it is. Now, as Cuba Gooding said to Jay McGuire and Thomas Cruise and Jay McGuire, show me the money. Where's the money? Timothy Ruddock, Arnold Williams, and Timothy McGahee. Then there's also, here's the other strange, and I didn't mean to really get into this tonight, but since we're here, there was another sale. And I'm trying to figure this out. Maybe some of you realty people can help figure this out, because you see the sale for $405,000, but then it also says there was another sale. Let me do the site address for 4015 North US 1. Let me see if it comes up that way. Okay, there's another side. I got to find it here where they're carrying a mortgage on that sale. I got to find it here, but we'll deal with that in the next the podcast tomorrow. But listen, the same office was sold, but it's still saying that this church, North Bay Church of God, is having church at that location, and ain't nobody at that location. Okay, plain and simple. So this is what you do. You go here, you go to Office of Consumer Services, click File a Complaint, and you can do it online. You can do it the old school way, and you can upload the documentation, have your documentation. You got to tell the story in there, and so on and so forth. And they go from there. If you want to talk to someone, sometimes you can get through somebody. It's kind of hard to get through on the phone, but you can call someone. And then, if necessary, then you can also go to the Office of the Attorney General. Okay, which is Ashley Moody. 1 second. Let's just give you this because understand something. You need to know what your rights are. Court Salerno, check your stuff. I'm telling every church, check your stuff every month. Just you see, it only took me a couple minutes. Check your paperwork because somebody may have gone on there, hoodwinked you, and you'll be none the wiser. Thank you so much. I hope this primer has been a blessing to you. Share this with somebody. Small church, big church, large church, whatever the case. Even if you're not a part of the Church of God or this organization, maybe you have a business. When you file, especially if you file online, check it. Once a month, check by the organization's name. Check by your name. Somebody may put your name on a business or something you not even know, and then they get in trouble and they come and arrest you, and you're like, I don't have nothing to do with that. You got to spend all your money trying to fight to prove that you didn't have anything to do with it, all because somebody went online and put your name. It's electronic signature, so forgery, yes, but it's not forgery like they signed. They're electronically signing your name. Oh yeah, it can be some big trouble. I thank you all for joining us for the podcast. Don't forget, we're available here on all these platforms, and I'm so excited about this podcast because now, guess what, y'all? The COG Equity Podcast is available. Check it out. On Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Audible, YouTube Music and YouTube, X, Facebook, and Rumble. Yes. Like we always say, the COG Equity Podcast available wherever you podcast. And then we'll be doing daily podcasts this week, and then normally we'll do just about once a week after this week or so, or as necessary. But please share this with somebody. Those of you watching this right now, you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, please go ahead and share this right now. And if you'd like to be a member, you can be a member on YouTube. You can just go over there, and you can that way you can send super chats over there. Let's go. Let me take this off so you can see that. There you go. You can see that there. All right. See how that goes? And in 1 second, you'll see me on here. You'll see me on there live. There we go. Right. But you can do super chats over here. And also that way you can support us. And also, of course, again, if you feel so led, no pressure, you love what we're doing, you want to support what we're doing, you want to send a love offering, that information will be up at the end of the podcast. Here it is right here. And for those of you listening, we'll go ahead and read that out to you so you can hear it. But I'm so excited about what you're doing with the opportunity to be here with you. If you have Zelle, you can use the email address, robcarpenterii@icloud.com. Cash App, $ Rob Carpenter 2. Cash App, $ Rob Carpenter 2. Venmo, @RobCarpenter2. If you have cryptocurrency, want to sow that, go to @RobCarpenterII, PayPal @RobCarpenter2. And if you want to do it an innovative way, buymeacoffee.com/the RCTV network. Buy me a cup of coffee, buy leave a cup of coffee, and that'll be a best of $5. It'll be a one-time gift, or it can be a monthly gift, or two of them, however you want to do it. At buymeacoffee.com/the RCTV network. However you do, whatever you do, it's be a blessing. We're so excited. And we are just honored to take on this task. I didn't plan on it. But once we got in here, the more and more we found out that it's a lot of stuff in the milk was not clean. And so, if they won't say nothing, somebody has to. Isn't that right? God bless you. We'll see you next time on the COG Equity Podcast. Also be listening for a new episode of Real Talk, the R&D with Pastor Robert, coming up real soon. This is Pastor Robert. I love you. I'll see you tomorrow right here on this platform. God bless.
Real Talk with the R&D with Pastor Robert podcast. Now streaming on X and wherever you podcast. Let's go.